Hello and welcome to week 12 of Introduction to Linguistics. And we're coming to the end of the course. We've now arrived at the kind of highest level of linguistic analysis that we're going to be studying, which is the study of pragmatics. Pragmatics involves meaning, but meaning in language use. So beyond the meanings of words or phrases or sentences, meaning in context can often express ideas, feelings, intentions beyond those of the words in the utterances that are made. So in pragmatics, we're going to be studying primarily these three topics: speech acts, politeness, and conversational implicature. Speech acts refers to the observation that we actually use language to perform actions. Right? An action is anything that we do, and sometimes doing things requires the use of speech. Such actions we describe as speech acts, and we want to separate the speech, the words used in speech, from the action performed when producing an utterance. And in politeness, we study how language is used in order to communicate effectively. It's not really politeness in the sense of please and thank you, sir and madam, this kind of politeness. It has a much richer meaning within the study of pragmatics. And then conversational implicature refers to another kind of extra meaning. We can communicate meaning conversationally beyond the meanings of the words we use, because communication follows some general patterns, some general rules or principles that guide the way we communicate. And in the context of those principles, we're able to communicate in a very effective way, not limited by the words and phrases available, but taking advantage of placing those words and phrases within a particular context, which allows listeners to understand our meaning even when it's beyond the words we're using. So, pragmatics, like semantics, studies meaning, but in particular, we're going to make a distinction between the meaning of a sentence and the meaning that the speaker intends in producing an utterance. So a sentence like, "You have a test tomorrow in your English class," might be slightly different from an utterance in which a particular person at a particular time in a particular context actually says these words or utters these words. And in pragmatics, we refer to these cases as utterances. So this is an example where a person genuinely says, "You have a test tomorrow in your English class." Now, the sentence has a particular meaning, which we get from the meanings of the individual words, the grammar, how words are combined into phrases, how those phrases are grouped together into a sentence. So the meaning of the sentence might be something like, the day after today, right? That's what tomorrow means. The day after today, there will be a test reviewing what you have studied in English. It's a kind of paraphrase, another way to express the meaning that is expressed by this sentence. Yeah? But when someone utters this sentence in an actual context, in addition, there's the speaker's meaning, what the speaker intends to communicate. So imagine that a mother is talking to her son, and the son has been lying around all afternoon watching YouTube videos, wasting time, and then the mother says to the son, "You have a test tomorrow in your English class." Well, her meaning might be something like, stop watching YouTube, put your phone away, open your textbook, and start studying. That meaning, that intention, can be communicated through the utterance, "You have a test tomorrow in your English class." So the meaning that's communicated may be more than just the meanings of the words in the sentences that are included in an utterance. Now, pragmatics is this study of meaning in the use of language. Sentence meaning, as we've seen before, is what we study in semantics. along with some of syntax, actually. Some of the meaning we compute or we calculate or we interpret from a sentence comes from the grammar of how the words are combined, but also the principles of the semantics, the semantic roles that each of the noun phrases plays relative to the verb. Right? Yeah. And in pragmatics, we're going to be focusing on the speaker meaning. Okay? And the first among these is going to be the topic of speech acts. Okay? Speech acts, as I said before, are actions we perform using speech. An act is any kind of action or behavior that we do, and a speech act is that action or behavior performed using speech. In the next video, we'll be looking at some details, some examples in detail. See you there.